Why am I so f***ed up, man? The sad thing is, that's probably a relatable thought that's gone through most of your heads recently. Look, brother, life is a battle. It's a battle against other men competing for opportunities. It's a battle against external factors that are outside of our control. And if you also have to battle against yourself on top of all this other shit, then it's game over before it even starts. Like, have you ever been in a relationship and just consumed by these feelings of jealousy? You're just convinced that your girl is sneaking around behind your back and you're trying to look at her phone and see who she's texting. Have you ever been around a group of new people struggling to fit in, just thinking to yourself, I'm so awkward, man, I don't fit in. And then you just get so paralyzed that you can't even communicate. I've been there before, and it's tough because we only get one life. And when I'm torturing myself, I start to feel guilty. Like, on top of feeling sad or jealous or lost, guilty that I'm not even taking advantage of the time I have here on this earth, just watching my life go by day by day. So if you're seeing this video right now, then let it be a sign for you. It's time to prioritize healing. It's time to stop being your biggest enemy and to become your strongest ally. So let's begin with a question. And I want you to actually think about this. Why do you feel unworthy? That's the real question. Because if you're jealous of your girl, like that's just on the surface level. What's beneath that is that you're afraid that she's going to leave you and choose another man that's better than you, that's more worthy than you. If you feel like it's not possible to change your life and you're just always gonna be stuck in mediocrity, and then you're seeing these guys live these cool lifestyles and you're scrolling Instagram and YouTube, well, it's the same problem. Deep down, you feel like you're not worthy of having that type of life. And until you truly feel worthy, you're always gonna be your own enemy. You're gonna be smothering your girlfriend with insecurity so she doesn't even have the opening to cheat on you. You're never gonna bet on yourself and finally go for that thing and take the risk because you know it's not gonna work anyway. And maybe the worst part is we'll always be stuck with that awkward fucking energy when we're around people who aren't our closest friends because we're afraid that if we let our guard down and express ourselves, these people are gonna know that I'm a low value person and they're not gonna like me. So I'll just be really shy instead. Now look, man, going down this path of self-improvement and of healing, it's hard. It's hard work. And if you're trying to do it completely alone, it's even harder. That's why most guys end up burning out and just giving up. They don't have true support around them. And that is why this week on Wednesday, I'm hosting an exclusive one-time live Zoom call. Now, normally these calls are only for the guys in Beast Nation, my private group, but this week, anyone can join completely free. You'll be able to speak with me directly, ask me your questions, hang out with other guys who are on this same path. We're even doing a $500 cash giveaway live on the call. And I'm also gonna share something on this call that I've never talked about on YouTube. It's a process I use to generate so much momentum in my life that discipline becomes automatic. This keeps me moving forward no matter the circumstances. Again, this is completely free to join. It's happening this Wednesday at 1 p.m. Eastern time, and all you have to do is click the first link down in description to register now, save your spot, and when it gets closer to the call, we'll send you that Zoom link. I will see you on Wednesday, bro. So why do you feel unworthy? Eventually, after a lot of soul searching in my life, I found the answer. But it was only after I broke up with my second girlfriend. It was a super toxic relationship. And then I moved to Spain with the homie Dave just to get away from it all, man. And I was at a really low point in my life. I was really sad. And I was reading this book called The Truth by Neil Strauss. Yes, he's the same guy who wrote The Game, which is like the Bible of pickup artists. In The Game, Neil Strauss is a journalist who goes like undercover with all these pickup artists, and he gets lost in the sauce just trying to sleep with as many women as possible, basically. Now, the book I was reading, The Truth, it's called, it was the sequel to that, and it was kind of Neil Strauss's soul-searching moment where he realized he lost track of who he was. He wasn't sure what he wanted in his life. And I felt like I was in a similar part of my life trying to figure out who I was as I was reading that book. Anyway, the answer that I found deep down in my soul is that I had this like hidden shame that I'd been carrying around for most of my life. And it's crazy because it was like this thing that I was afraid that other people would find out about me, but I wasn't even aware of it. Like I had buried it so deep down because I didn't even want to think about it. And before I tell you what my hidden shame is, I want you to think for a second. What is your hidden shame? What is that thing that you're afraid other people are going to find out about you? What is the thing that first caused you to have a weak mindset? That thing that happened to you that just stole your confidence from you? Think about that. It might not pop right into your minds, but trust me, it's deep down there. All of us have this shit. Maybe it's something dark that happens during your childhood. Or maybe it's something that seems kind of silly, like it shouldn't matter. It just seems stupid. For me, my hidden shame is something that happened my first year of high school when I was a freshman. I was coming into school feeling confident, excited to keep living life, keep doing dumb shit with my friends and laughing and balling out on the basketball court, man. Then the winter came along, basketball tryouts, and I did well. I was one of the better players in my grade. I balled out. I got my spot on the team as expected. But then the next part I didn't expect. For some reason, it just felt like the coach kind of hated me. Like he put me on the team because he had to. But after a few weeks of practices, when we were running scrimmages, I realized I wasn't on the starting lineup. I wasn't even on the second lineup. I was literally fucking third string, not even playing my position. They had me at power forward. I was a shooting guard. And it completely shattered my world before the season even began because my identity was an athlete. Like, yes, I was also a son and a brother and a friend and a student, but first, I was an athlete. That's what I was proud of. But now, I'd be sitting on the bench as the game started. And in my mind, I was already like, this shit. I don't even care if they put me in at the end of the game. I shouldn't even be here, man. This is a waste of my time. And then when my opportunities did come, I was just so nervous and so tight that I was going to make a mistake and prove the coach right that I couldn't play. I sucked. And no longer could I genuinely look at myself and say I was a good athlete. So it's like, who was I? Who even was David anymore? And what I realized 10 years later, lying in bed in this tiny apartment in Madrid, is that moment, it was like this pebble that was thrown at a window. And even though the window didn't break, it led to all these small cracks that spread throughout the rest of the window. I was technically still alive and living life after that, but I was completely broken. And as high school went on and all my friends started dating girls, I didn't. I just felt awkward and like it wasn't going to work out for me, even though I wasn't ugly or anything. And really, what it was is that I didn't feel worthy. All because that stupid coach put me on the bench. No longer did I feel worthy. Being on that bench, that's when I learned that I was not worthy of success and that I was not as good as these other guys around me. At least that's what I thought I learned. That's effectively what I subconsciously learned. And that stuck with me for years and years later. I was the awkward, shy kid who couldn't talk to a girl for the rest of high school and for most of university as well, man, except for when I got drunk and went into a frat party or some shit. Anyway, that's my hidden shame. What is yours? It might take some deep thought, and I'd actually challenge you to just get out of the house and go for a walk after this and just let it sit with you and see what comes up. You might not be able to force it. The point is, you're not broken, man. You've just been carrying a very, very heavy weight with you, probably for a long time without even realizing it. And the only way you can let go of this weight is to first identify what it is. And by the way, if you already know what your hidden shame is, then I would challenge you right now to drop a comment below the video and share it. Even if it's personal and you have to be vague about some details, I can guarantee you that, look, there's tens of thousands of guys that are going to be watching this video. And if they can scroll down and see some relatable, real comments about this, I mean, that's what this community is about, man. Reading those comments and realizing that you're not alone, that's a very fucking powerful thing, because a lot of times in life, especially during the dark times, it feels like we're alone and no one else has experienced what we're experienced. Now, I want to be real with you. Realizing and recognizing what your hidden shame is, that alone is extremely powerful, because at least you can understand the thing that's been controlling you invisibly all of these years. And usually you can laugh at it a little bit. Like, really? I'm going to let that high school basketball coach rob me of my confidence for the rest of my life? That's bullshit. That's stupid. I'm not going to do that. But what I realized and what I found is that to fully release myself of this darkness that was inside of me, I had to admit it, not just to myself, but to other people also. That's the thing that really makes it start to lose its grip over you. So whether you're sharing it to your brothers in Beast Nation, in the comments below, to a close friend or family member, when you admit it and you take it outside of yourself, well, you stop hiding from it. You stop thinking that you need to hide it from other people. You stop overcompensating for it. It just naturally starts... It's like this cathartic moment where naturally it just releases from your body. Like in that moment that I realized it, and then I shared it with the homie Dave and with my brother who was living in Madrid at the time. That honestly might have been the turning point of my life, because it's like no longer was I trying to manipulate my whole identity around this fucking lie of who I thought I was, or who I'd confined myself to being up into that moment. That's really the moment that I started to actually heal, and I stopped caring about validation from other people. That's also when I started making consistent YouTube videos, and I didn't care so much anymore if people from my past who knew me back when I was that awkward loser, if they saw those videos. In the past, I was hiding myself from these people, but once I realized it, I was healed. And these things didn't matter anymore. I promise you, man, you'll start to walk differently. You'll start to talk differently. You won't need to prove yourself to people anymore, because like they say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And once you realize that you've lived through this trauma, we can call it, and you've survived it and you've been able to let it go behind you, you're stronger by definition. It's just another thing that's crafted you. And that's why I truly think you can say that the healed man is the most dangerous man. And unfortunately, most guys never heal. Most guys never take the time to look inside them and discover what their hidden shame is. And they carry it around their entire adult life, always not feeling fully comfortable with who they are and not even knowing why. When you meet most people and they have that shiftiness in them, that awkwardness in them that we talked about, that I had for most of my life, it's easy to identify that and to see that they haven't healed yet. They're still hiding themselves. They're still protecting that shame, and they don't even know it. You've been hiding it long enough, man. You've been hiding from it long enough. You've been hiding it from other people long enough. You've been letting it control you long enough. Now is the time to prioritize healing. It'll make everything in your life so much better and more real. And you can actually start crafting your identity from this moment. So if you haven't already, now is the time to face the darkest part of yourself and put it behind you. If you made it to the end of this video, don't stop watching now. I recommend you see that video next. In fact, YouTube has recommended that one specifically for you. Did they get it right? Let me know. If you're new to the channel, click down there to subscribe, as I release 2 new videos every single week and you don't want to miss them. I'll talk to you in the next video. Stay beastly.